Welcome back to Maximum Production, a Wholesome Friesian New Zealand podcast about everything to do with cows. I'm Amelia, and this is part 2 of our Valden Cow of the Year finalist special. If you haven't listened to the first part, I recommend you go back and listen to that episode first. Otherwise, let's get into it. Our next finalist for the 2024 Valden Cow of the Year is Raymac ME Orace. VG87 5-star brood with superior production, bred by Stephen and Judith Ray. So I have with me Judith. Hey, Judith.
Hello, how are you today?
Good. So, Judith, why don't you tell us a little bit about your farming background and how you guys got to where you are today?
I was brought up on a dairy farm out on the coast at Paratai. Stephen's from Rotorua. We met at the Otago University when we were both there, and then we had town jobs in Invercargill. But most weekends were spent up at my parents' dairy farm. So after a while, we just decided, hey, let's have a go at this. And we got a job as a married couple for N. Dodds, well-known studmaster for Middlevale. And we were there for 18 months and got a good grounding on the black and white cows. And following that, we went contract milking at Jim and Betty Fletts at Scott's Gap. So another well-known stud name from Southland. After that, we had enough money saved up to go 50-50 share milking. So our first job was for Tasman Agriculture. It was at Moreton Mains, conversion farm. The next one was at Avondale for a private owner, and then on to Jack Bellham's at Otahuti, well-known farm-wise consultant. And then we headed north, back up to South Otago, and did 2 years at the Johnsons at Clydevale. So it was 4 conversions in a row. So the 5th farm we were on was at Clydevale, which is the area we live now, and that was also a conversion. And following that, we bought our own farm here at Clydevale. It had been a sheep farm. Clydevale because, well, the kids were all settled in school. It was land we could afford, and we enjoyed the community. So that's where we've stayed for the last whatever number of years, over 20 years.
Oh, wow. And the Raymac herd that you and Stephen started has developed quite a good name for itself throughout the country. You've produced a lot of bulls going through AB companies, as well as just some really standout cows.
We were, I don't know about lucky when we bought the herd. It was a very put together herd back in about 1988, where we started. 2 corporate farmers, Applefields and Tasman, were starting up at that time too, and there weren't many herds to buy, so we bought bits and pieces. So it's been a few years breeding, but I think after the length of time we've had, you get some sort of you get an even looking herd. You should do anyway by now. You know your families, your herd testing. You can pick out your best animals, and Wholesome Friesian, particularly with Discovery Project, has picked out those animals, and then you run with it because you get the embryos and you get males and females. So that's probably given us a great opportunity. But yes, the best cows in the herd do show themselves quite clearly.
And I think that's quite evident because Raymac has won Valden Cow of the Year 3 times. Yeah. So, which is amazing. And Orace, who's in our top 6 this year, this is her 5th consecutive year in the top 6 of Valden Cow of the Year. So I think that's an incredible achievement for yourself and Stephen. It just shows how well your cows do and how standout the breeding that you guys have done is. How does it feel to be 3-time winners and to have these cows coming through in the Valden Cow of the Year?
Well, first thing I suppose is surprise. Certainly when the first one appears in the finals. Um, you Most of the competitions there are with the Holstein Friesian, you enter yourself. So if you've got cows that you think are good in the progeny competition, you pick them and you enter them. But with the Valden, the office does some magic and produces the 6 finalists. And when they first ring you up, it's a huge surprise. And winning it, sort of gobsmacked when we won it with Isoni and Espresso, and then Tansy last year. Yeah, so real surprise. But they were all families we'd had for a very long time. And I think most breeders would say the same, that those that you've had for a long time, you've bred them to many different sires, and they possibly get a little bit of favoritism in the breeding too. And they're easy enough to pick. So yeah, first surprise, thrilled. And as far as Orace is concerned, I don't know how many years you can go before they're sick of seeing her in the book, but
as long as she's alive.
yeah, well, she is alive. Yeah, no, she
Yeah.
is alive. She has retired down to the runoff and very much alive. No, she's doing well, and I just might give you a wee bit of background on her, where we got her from. So when we were working at Ian and Douglas Dodds, they had a yearly heifer sale, and they had it in conjunction with Brian Perkins. So Stephen was leading some of the heifers, and we'd picked out 2 families we were keen on, and that was the O family and the Beta family. And Ornate was the original cow that we got. She was a Ethel Sovereign Fame daughter. The pretty white-faced ones. So we were keen on her, and with Stephen walking them in and out, I had to do the bidding, which I did. She was early on. I did my bidding. I was desperate to get her, and I bid again. And the auctioneer did say to me, "Make no mistake, lady, the cow is yours." So we got her. She wasn't a cheap one then, but she bred well. She probably the best descendant was a cow called Commander Orchid, and she's from Awapuki AL Commander, who was a Wrightson bull, I think. But on they bred, we had Bear Path Fantastics, we had Thonimar Secrets, and they were wonderful milky cows. And the Secret did get ET done, and we ended up with Omans, which probably in our herd have done exceptionally well. Elmers, Mountains, Manfreds, they all went into the family, and we've ended up actually with 3 OR families that are all quite different, but all produce very well. Orace's particularly through one line, which is the a Remedy daughter, and she's an EX. She's had a Beamer daughter who's been contracted. They have been around for a long time, and we have put them to what we consider good sires. And to be fair, we're thrilled with the results. And even though we're surprised being in the Valden, you are thrilled, because, as I say, you don't pick them yourself. They come and they're in the magazine as the final 6, which is a thrill.
And so she's had 7, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's 7 daughters, and then she's also had a son that went through Liberty Genetics herself.
No, you're correct. She had, I think she's had 6 live daughters and 1 dead Friesian daughter, and they have done well themselves. As I mentioned just a few minutes ago, she's got a Remedy granddaughter out of an Oman, 2 Gauntlets, a Dynamite, a Frazzled, and a Super Sire. So all fairly well known sires. Yeah, no, she has been a very fertile cow, to be fair. Calving early, not having problems calving, and components very high, which pays the bills, I guess.
Yeah, well, so looking from my research, her best production year was as a 7-year-old, where she did over 700 solids and did 8,247 litres. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that does sound right. It's just consistent. First cow in the row on the outside of the herringbone, and look out anyone that got in the road. Yeah, fertile, gotten calf to AI a good number of times, and had many days in milk, which is what you want.
Yep, it's great when they keep milking. So you must have just been a strong advocate for the family. You haven't gotten rid of her. You've just decided to retire her and live out her life. So she must be a huge part of your business, and holding on to her must mean a lot to you guys.
Oh, no, it does. We don't want too many to hold on to. But at the moment, there's the two other Valden Cow winners and her together. Yeah, you get attached to them. She's not a cow that is particularly friendly, and hates me really for jabbing her when I tried to ET her and it didn't work. So she does have a bit of an aversion to me. Richard pets her. But yeah, no, other people that have got animals that have done really well in their herd, and I think they're content to keep them. But when you drive past them and you see them, just a little warm buzz when you see they're still there, they're still happy. Whether they have any more calves or not is not usually an issue. And thrilled she's retired.
I think because she was born in 2010, so she's been going a while, so she possibly deserves a bit of retirement.
I don't know what that is in human years, but perhaps it might mean that it's about time we retired as well.
That we all feel like that at some point, right?
Yeah, no, we do.
So is there anything that's your kind of special little anecdote or your favourite thing about her over the years?
Well, other than the fact that she has sort of been indestructible.
That's a great cow.
Oh, well, yeah. She tipped herself up one stage off the lane and ended up upside down in a bit of a gully. But once she was hauled back out, she jumped up and away she went. Yeah, the main thing about it that I can just emphasise again and again is consistency, perseverance by the cow herself, no nonsense. Yeah, no, she just kept turning up for work. She was in our own Otago progeny competitions. The group of them did well. They did well at national level, never quite getting first, but I think we had 3 fourth places and a second place with the mint editions. And they were, in the competition for a long time. The thing I just keep thinking and saying about these cows are they are just there. You notice them, you don't notice them. They just do their business, getting calf, milk. The only thing about Orace is we have competitions at herd test for a block of chocolate as to who the highest producer is. And a few blocks of chocolates have gone Stephen's way because that's the cow he chooses and he wouldn't let anyone else choose her. So, yeah.
Smart decision,
Well,
Stephen.
it was a smart decision. Now she's retired, though. We'll have to think about another one.
Yeah, I think, now we will have to pick a new cow. As you said, she's a mint edition. Did you have quite a bit of success with your mint editions? He was a very popular bull back in the day.
Oh, for sure. No, for sure. With Pierre in his background, he was quite desirable because Pierre had done so well. I mean, I know some people bought a phenomenal amount of semen of them. We bought quite a lot, and they got in calf. They did very well over some lines. So we had a number of Oman cows that were mated to mint edition, that American or New Zealand cross keeping going. And we could have had 30, 35 mint editions, something like that. But it was that cross, and that's the same cross that Maori had with one of their very successful bulls, Fire Up. And it just seemed to complement. mint edition and the O-Man particularly, but and they lasted. The mint editions, I've heard some people say that they didn't have particularly good feet, but I don't think we had huge problems with ours, and they were just there over and over. And if you're wanting to enter any competition, you want more than the bare numbers. And it didn't matter whether one was empty or one would be sick. There'd still be plenty to choose from. So yeah, that makes things easier.
Well, thank you, Judith, for giving up your time today. So congratulations again on another finalist in Valden Cow of the Year, and her 5th consecutive year being there shows how great the cow is.
Thank you very much.
So our next finalist for the Valden Cow of the Year is Tronnoco Mint Sunita, VG85, 19 Starbrood ET and SP, bred by Tony and Keri O'Connor of Tronnoco Holstein. So Tony's joining us. Thanks, Tony. So what are some things that stand out for you about Sunita?
She just came in and milked.
That's a great cow.
Lots.
Even better. What was her highest production year that she did?
8-year-old, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. She was 8. She did just under 12,000 litres.
She's done 900 milk solids 4 times in her life. She calved 8 times and had 9 heifer calves. She had 1 set of twins.
And you did do quite a bit of flushing on her as well because you were so impressed by the breeding.
We did embryo work on her even as a heifer. She was the very first cow we genomically tested, and it said that she was good, and that she was. And so we went, and that produced 2 daughters, and they have performed as well. So she has 2 excellent daughters and 7 VG daughters. Daughters have continued the trend of her milk solids, that 4 of them have now done over 900 of milk solids. 3 of them are allocated superior production as well. And now the granddaughters are doing fire up Savika's VG87 and did 946 milk solids. And a great granddaughter, fire up Sanka's, done 951 milk solids.
So she's been successful not just in herself, but she has produced some really standout animals as well, which have done really well in your herd.
Yep. Well, she ended up herself doing 101,000 litres of milk lifetime, and I think we've had about 4 cows do that. It's quite an achievement to be able to do the 100,000 litres lifetime, which equates to about just over 8,000 kilograms of milk solids for a lifetime. So
that's incredible for
pretty significant production.
Yeah, that's an incredible result for a cow these days, I think, and to last so long. Because how you did lose her recently. How old was she when she died?
So she was 13 when she died last year.
So that's a really good inning for a cow as well these days. A lot of them aren't even making it that long. So it shows the quality of her and herself, and what you've been able to succeed and get from her.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to her last daughter calving in this year, who is polled. So that's another dimension to the family that will be of interest for us going forward. So in the year that she had twins, in this genomic world, it was interesting that because they were tested, it was a split embryo because they're genetically identical. So
that is really cool. It's quite rare to get like identical twins or like twins so similar like that as well.
That's probably the advantage of the genomic world. There's probably more out there than we realise, but they just said a twin heifers, and we don't realise that they're genetically identical or not. So
yeah, well, to do the test, to do the physical test to check for genetic like visual identicalism, there's only certain people in New Zealand that can do it. So it's, if you can pick it up genomically, then makes it a lot more interesting to look at. And you had a bull that went through the genetic leaders program from her as well.
Yeah, so one of her last sons has just come up with a proof this year. Tronnoco Sherman. He's currently sitting at 376 BW in an udder overall of 0.73. Hasn't seemed to have made the CLV catalogue, but must be close.
That's a good, I think, especially at the moment with the push for, especially like udders and things like that, to get a 0.7 for an udder is quite strong for New Zealand genetics coming through. So hopefully he'll be showing up soon for people to purchase him.
Yeah, and the other bull from the family that's come up with a proof is of course Saquon, and he's on AE. He's sitting at 384 with a protein BV of 64 and a udder overall of 0.95. So
Even better.
Yeah, he's got quite a few sons out there, so the influence will come through him as well. So there's 4 descendants of her in the 2024 LIC catalogue. There's 4 bulls in the catalogue that are descendants of Sunita.
Just shows how great the family is. A family to be proud of, Tony.
We're certainly that.
So she's by Fairmont Mint Edition, a very well-known bull throughout New Zealand. And do you think that definitely helped with correcting things for her and pushing it through to the daughters as well?
He certainly had his influence, didn't he? And that helped. The family, I guess, was already starting to perform, and I guess Mint Edition just managed to lift it to another level. But pleasing that she managed to carry on, not be just a great cow herself. She seems to be able to breed it on as well. With embryo work, it certainly gave her more opportunities. But she had a heifer calf every time naturally herself. She never actually had a bull calf herself. The only bulls we got were from embryo work.
That's a good thing, though, isn't it? That she's producing new heifer calves. Normally, most people want heifer calves. They don't really want bulls. I know it's nice to have a bull go through into an AV company, but normally you want a heifer calf to bring back through to continue the family line.
I was quite happy to have heifer calves, and I'm quite happy to tell the story that she had a heifer calf every year. So
I'd be pretty proud of that too. Yeah. So this isn't Sunita's first time in the Valden Cow. This is her third. How does it feel getting a cow in the top 6 of Valden Cow the year?
I feel proud that the cow gets recognised. That's the feel good that there is some recognition to the cow, because she was certainly she was certainly very easy to work with, and she just performed so well, and so it's getting that. It's just her getting recognition it makes you feel good.
What would have been your favourite feature of Sunita over the years, other than the giving you a heifer calf every year, which I think that would possibly top it, but anything else that was kind of your favourite memory or favourite thing about the cow over the years that you had her? 13 years is a long time.
She just was always there chewing her cud.
She was just happy.
Did her own thing.
So a good worker cow.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Tony, for your time today. And good luck with Sunita. I really appreciate you telling us all about it. And good luck with the Valden Cow of the Year.
Thank you.
So our last finalist for this year's Valden Cow of the Year competition is Sherraine Fortune Carra, E3, bred by Peter and Rhonda Sherriff. So I actually have Peter and Rhonda's daughter Olivia joining me today, because Olivia and Jared run the farm now. So hey, Olivia.
Hi, how you going?
So do you want to tell us a little bit about, your background, how you guys got to where you are, a little bit about the Sherraine herd?
Yep. So our background is that, I am 4th generation dairy farmer. Our breeding dates back 100 years. So
that's incredible.
In 1923, my great granddad Thomas Sherriff created Melrose stud. And then in 1934, I think it was, my pop, so Norman Sherriff, created Deloraine with what we call 2 foundation cows from Melrose. And one of those cows was Melrose Queen Sylvia Hero. which is now our C family, and ends up being Carra's 11th dam.
Oh, wow. Goes back a really long way then.
Yeah, it is. And then in 1993, Peter and Rhonda, so mum and dad, and us kids, we moved to North Canterbury and created Sherraine Holsteins. They brought with them around, I think, 80 cows from Deloraine. And today, mum, dad, my husband Jared, myself, our two kids, Tom and Isabel, we milk about 180 pedigree Holstein Friesians on an all year round supply.
Wow. That keeps you guys busy.
Yeah, it does. Yep.
But the Sherraine herd in itself has established a great name for itself. Yes, it came from Deloraine and Melrose, but you guys have in turn developed a really strong name for yourselves, not just in Canterbury, but throughout the country as well. So good work to your family for creating such a prestigious stud that I know has produced some beautiful animals throughout the years.
Awesome. Thank you.
Including,
Yes. It's nice to hear. Thank you.
No, more than welcome. That does include Sherraine Fortune Carra. So
Yep.
congratulations for getting her in the Valden Cow for the second year.
Yes, second year. Yes.
Olivia and I were talking about this before we started recording, and Olivia didn't actually realise, but Carra placed second at last year's Valden Cow Awards. So that's pretty exciting.
It is.
I know that they, every year, just because a cow placed second or wherever she placed, the numbers change so much year on year, but I think to just get to that second place, and it just shows how great the cow in herself is. Do you want to tell us a little bit about her?
A bit about Carra. Definitely, well, one of our ultimate cows. She's high production, high type, and a really strong brood cow. She's been a part of our show team for many years. She was Supreme Champion breed and all breeds cow at the 2016 Canterbury show.
Oh, wow.
And in 2020, she was the New Zealand CMEX on farm champion veteran cow. Her lactation is phenomenal. Her best lactation was as a 7-year-old, where she did over 10,800 litres with a 4.25% fat and a 3.75% protein. She is a great brood cow. We have flushed her 4 times and IVF'd her once, and currently have 16 daughters, 20 granddaughters, 7 great-granddaughters, and 4 great-great-granddaughters to date. So,
oh, wow, that's incredible.
It is, yeah. And she's in calf at 15 years old, and
Wow.
yeah, we will probably continue to flush her and her daughters.
That's incredible to have a cow that has just done so well in herself. I think all up you had 20 daughters born.
Mm-hmm.
So out of what you've done so far, so that's insane. I know that Sherraine has never been a herd that strives for producing bulls for the industry or anything like that. But she had a son go through, I think it was Genetic Enterprises when I was talking to Peter, but then she was then marketed through Worldwide Sires because they had extra semen of them and things like that. I know when talking to Peter, he was never someone that thought about producing bulls or anything, but when they approached him, they were just incredibly impressed by, as I am, by how well this cow has done, and so decided that if they had this opportunity that it would be a great thing. So I think especially for a company that's not necessarily New Zealand based as well, to be taking a bull out of a cow like that, I think that is a great testament to her breeding and the work that you guys have done as well. So
thanks.
Have you got any really standout daughters of hers in your herd at the moment?
Yes, absolutely. We have some amazing sidekicks. So when we IVF'd her, we put a sidekick straw and a eunuch straw against her eggs, and we ended up with 5 sidekick calves being born in 1 eunuchs. And honestly, all 6 that have come into milk are just outstanding. The sidekicks are incredible, and I'm super excited about them coming in. We have granddaughters by eunuchs out of Winbrook that are going to calve in the spring, which are also looking very good.
It's so cool that you guys have been able to do so much flushing work with her, and she's been so successful that way as well, because I know that can sometimes be pretty hit and miss. So she must have a lot of eggs.
Yes. When we IVF'd her, there was late 20s, I think, oversights given. When we've flushed her, we've always ended up with, 2 or 3 heifers being born, and that wasn't with sex semen. So yeah, she does flush well,
and gives you daughters, as you said. You said you've got 16 and
bulls, but yes.
but like, you're always going to get those bulls, but to have such a strong number of daughters coming through, as you said, you've got 5 sidekick daughters coming through. That's insane.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, like, you're just going to have your entire herd soon will just be your C family. It'll just be all out of Carra.
It's already over 50%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's definitely our family.
Hey, if it produces well, why not?
100%, yep.
And if they're getting in calf as well.
Yes.
Clearly fertility is not lacking in that family.
No, it's not.
So, other than her being the possibly most fertile cow in the country, what would be your favourite kind of thing about Carra? Do you have any little anecdotes that just make her stand out?
Yep, no, she is a great cow to work with. She's very quiet, well-tempered, and she's incredible to work with at the shows. Probably my favourite memory with Carra would be on our wedding day. We had photographs done with Carra and another cow, Sherraine Wildman Charm. She was washed and clipped and looking her best for our photo shoot. And yeah, she's just an absolute star of a cow.
Oh, that's so nice. I always love it when dairy farmers get married. They always have photos with cows.
Oh, they do. Just have to.
Well, thank you, Olivia, for your time. Carra sounds like an amazing cow, and as I said, Sherraine does so well in themselves. Just again, thank you to all our breeders that we've spoken to, and good luck with the competition again this year. The Valden Cow of the Year award will be announced during the Holstein Friesian New Zealand Annual Conference, which is being held in the Waikato this year. Yay for me, don't have to travel. At the Holstein Friesian Annual Awards Evening on the 24th of June. So I will be back next month with a new topic and a new guest. As always, if you have any topics you want me to cover or any questions about Holstein Friesian New Zealand, you can get in contact with me through our website, Facebook page, Instagram. All the links are in the show notes. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.